Alright, so good morning, guys. I'm Max Murison, and this is my senior presentation. So the first section of this PowerPoint is going to cover the question, who am I? So here's a timeline of my life, and it starts out when I was born on January 5th, 2007. I was born in Wenatchee, Washington. And then the second spot on the timeline is when I started preschool, which was September 2012, and I started here in Mansfield. And then in 2019, I worked my first summer for my dad on the farm, so I thought that was pretty important. I put that on my timeline. And then 2019 also, after that summer in September, is when I started middle school in Mansfield. And I started high school in September 2021. And then the last point on my timeline there is graduation, which is June 7th next week, and there's a picture of me. So now on to loves and hates. And so on the love side, I have feeling accomplished, camping, agriculture, friends and family, and some sports, like watching sports or playing sports, either or. And on the hate side, I have losing, snakes, and peanuts, because I'm allergic to them. So on the interests and hobbies, some of my main interests and hobbies, or my main interest and hobby is farming and agriculture, and then some other ones are woodworking, welding, dirt biking, raising animals, or going to the fair, both, and playing and watching sports. Now for work experience, I would consider my work experience pretty vast. I've worked quite a few summers, and not only just for our farm, but I've worked for Fogan Farms, and I've done a lot of other side jobs like mowing lawns and cleaning up things for people. But anyway, so the first summer I worked was, like I said earlier, 2019, and then I worked for Fogan Farms one summer in 2022, and then since then I've worked for my dad again at our farm. And some typical tasks that I would be doing is usually driving combine, driving tractors, and maintaining equipment, doing routine maintenance, stuff like that. So for upcoming personal goals, my main goal is to graduate college with no debt and stay out of debt after that. So, because I think that would give me a good start into my adult life, and I just don't really want to dig myself into a hole by paying for an education. But I also want to procrastinate less and try to learn new things every day, especially from failing. And for my career goals, I want to obviously get my degree in ag systems management, and after that I kind of want to see what career I want specifically, but that would probably be a crop advisor or ag salesman. And then I just want to get a job that I enjoy. And for the next section of my PowerPoint, it's going to cover the question, how did I get here? And for favorite classes, my main favorite classes were the classes that I had in the shop, Ag Shop 1 and 2, but also American history, outdoor education, personal finance, and band was pretty fun. I think just those shop classes and ag classes that relate to the main things I'm interested in, which is agriculture and farming, those are my main favorites. And here's my transcript of all my classes. I don't know if you can read it very well, but I got my cumulative GPA up there, and my overall GPA was 3.623. And I'm pretty proud of my grades that I've gotten in high school. I've never gotten anything worse than a B, so. As far as testing scores go, I'm also pretty proud of these. On the SAT, my combined score was 1120. My ASVAB AFQT score was 88. And my SVAC scores were both level 4s, with English being 2701 and math being 2761. Those are both pretty high, and they're easily above the range that I need to graduate. As far as extracurricular activities go, I've played a lot of sports. I've done FFA, ASB since before high school even. I started FFA in 8th grade. I started playing high school basketball in 8th grade also. And I've also had the opportunity to make it to state in a couple sports. and I've had the opportunity to start on a lot of teams, get a lot of playing time, and leadership positions in those extracurricular activities. I was the football team captain, the basketball team captain. I was our FFA's president, sentinel, and reporter, actually, 3 different positions at different times. And I just feel like those roles have actually given me a lot of experience on what it's like to deal with people and how to understand people and how to just be a good leader. And awards, I've got 2 categories here. I have academic and extracurricular awards. My main academic awards that I've gotten is honor roll for every semester throughout high school. And I've also earned 2 junior achievement awards, one from Badger Mountain Lodge, and then the Gene Gall Junior Scholarship that I earned last year. I've also obtained my CPR and first aid certification, which I'm kind of proud of. And I've logged over 75 hours of community service. And for extracurricular awards, I've gotten multiple all-league honors, first team and second team for football and basketball. And I've been a captain again in football and basketball teams. And then there's a couple pictures of me getting some awards. And that one up there was one of my favorite steers, actually. I got grand champion with him at the fair. So for skills that set me apart, I would say that I'm hardworking. I think I'm helpful. I help a lot of people every day. A lot of people bring me stuff to help them with. And I also have some technical skills like welding and woodworking I'm pretty good at. I think I know how to solve problems when they're presented to me. And I have a pretty high level of emotional intelligence. And I think I'm pretty good at compromising with people if there's an issue. So now for community service, like I said earlier, I've logged over 75 hours of community service. I'm trying to make it to 80 before graduation, just because I want to double the number that you need to get, which is 40. And I've earned most of these hours by doing garbage pickups, both for the Lions Club and for our city and through our school. But I've also helped organize a lot of junior high track meets, and I've helped the fire department do day-long trainings on 2 occasions. And I think that the community service aspect of my presentation is pretty important to me because I like giving back to the community. I think everyone should try to do something for the community, and it just helps make Mansfield a better place. And for lessons that I've learned in high school, I think that you should just take pride in everything that you do, so everybody knows like how hard at work you're putting in, and then you can also look back on your achievements and say, like, I'm proud of that, and I don't think I could have done any better on that. And also, I've learned that procrastinating is not necessarily the best idea for doing your schoolwork, and I learned that lesson from some mistakes. So that's another lesson learned, is learn from mistakes and enjoy the time with your friends. And my biggest influences in my life would be my parents, Brad and Nikki, and my grandparents, Grandpa Doug and Grandma Etta, and my teachers, Mr. Steele and Mr. Bayless, and also 2 coaches in particular, Coach Kendrick and Coach Finkbeiner. I think they've had a big influence on my life, but also other ones like Coach Myers and Coach Fleggett. And I think these people have really just had an impact on me because of the things they say, but also the kind of people they are. Now for the last section of the PowerPoint, and that's going to answer the question, where am I going? So after high school, I'm going to be going to college, and these are the 2 programs that I've considered at these 2 different colleges, Walla Walla Community College and Washington State University. So Walla Walla Community College offers a bachelor's degree in Ag Systems Management, which was really interesting to me because not very many community colleges offer 4-year degrees. And Washington State offers a similar degree. They have a different name for it, but they call it Ag Technology and Production Management. It's basically the same thing. And so that's why I consider both of these colleges, because they offer those programs. And for the cost breakdown of both of these colleges, and I think this is important because, like I said earlier, my main goal is to stay out of debt in college. So the cost breakdown is a big deal. It's a big factor for where I decided where I want to go. And so Walla Walla Community College, their total yearly cost of attendance is just above 19,000, give or take a little bit. So probably around 20,000. And Washington State University ended up being around 34,000. And there's some other numbers there, like the tuition you can see on Washington State is almost 4 times as high as the Walla Walla Community College. And so that was just a big factor for me, and that leads me to the next slide, which is my decision. And I decided to go to Walla Walla Community College for a bachelor's degree in Ag Systems Management. I think that this school offers a program that I really like, and my older brother's gone to Walla Walla, so I've been down there a couple times. I think the college is a pretty good school, and it's just kind of unique that they can offer a 4-year degree for a lower price than universities can. And now for job shadows. My first job shadow was with a guy named Nick Tebow from Ag Enterprise. He works in Wilbur, so I drove down there to shadow him for a day. His title is lead agronomist at the Wilbur location, and basically he just goes to people's fields, to their farms, and asks them what they're having trouble with, what they need, sells them chemicals, and prescribes different things for their crops to make them more successful. And I learned what his daily tasks are, how he needs to interact with customers to sell things, and what knowledge his position requires, because you obviously have to have quite a bit of knowledge to be making those big decisions for farmers. And my second job shadow was with Jason Emerson from OTC in Coulee City. He's the store manager in that location in Coulee City, but he's also their lead salesman. So he covers their equipment sales for the most part. And I had a lot of fun with Jason. He taught me how to treat potential buyers and how important that is if you're trying to sell things to them. He also taught me what it takes to manage employees. And he let me listen in to a phone call with him and his boss, actually. And we also did some GPS installment on some equipment, so that's pretty interesting. And that covers my slideshow. Thank you guys for listening. Do you have any questions?